Hey guys, how is it going? This is Sam. So S3, that's the topic of discussion for the day. S3 stands for a simple storage service, and Amazon S3 is a storage for the internet. It's a simple storage service that offers software developers a highly scalable, reliable, and low latency data storage infrastructure at very low cost. S3 is often known as a key value data store, and this key value data store has these things. It has a key, it has a value, and then it has a version ID, and then it can have a metadata. Metadata can be anything, data about data. It can be things like when was the file uploaded, what is the size of it, and things like that. And then ACL stands for access control list. Basically it's about the permission, the file you upload and the permissions related to that will come under ACL. And then the sub resources, all of these points combined, it'll form this key value data store. So down the line, if you are hearing anything like key value data store, and in AWS, understand that they are talking about S3. Amazon S3 provides a simple web service interface that you can use to store and retrieve any amount of data at any time from anywhere on the internet. So the bottom line, it's a secure, durable, highly scalable object storage offering from AWS, and this is one of the most popular offering from AWS. You know how popular EC2 is. So just like that, S3 is popular. The total volume of data and number of objects you can store are unlimited. Individual Amazon S3 objects can range in size from minimum of 0 bytes to a maximum of 5 terabytes. If you want to split it up, split your file to increase what you call the speed, and minimize the network delay, multi-part upload is possible too. And one important thing I want to tell you is this: there is nothing like unlimited storage. What Amazon does is they will constantly monitor the storage size, the capacity. If it goes beyond their threshold, then they will add more what you call storage space to that. That's how they keep it unlimited. And then Amazon S3 offers a range of storage classes designed for different different use cases. So before going to that, I want to tell you this. Once you put your data inside what you call S3, as I said earlier, S3 is a object level storage. You can only store your flat files. You cannot do things like installing a software. The best example is Dropbox. You might be familiar with Google Drive or Dropbox. So that's the same offering from AWS. Actually Dropbox, it is still running with AWS S3. So this data you upload to S3, it gets stored in multiple facilities. That's the important point to remember. The moment you upload any file to flat file to S3, that will be stored under multiple devices in multiple facilities. That's how they make what you call there is this reliability and availability. That's how they keep the file always available, even if some facilities are going down, some availability zones are having some issues, and still the file will be available. We'll come to that, but keep this in mind. And another thing, how do they keep the file inside S3? There is something called as bucket. So files are stored inside buckets. Don't confuse it. Buckets are something similar to your folders in Windows. So you can create multiple buckets inside Amazon S3, and you can use it for different purposes. It's completely up to you. And we were talking about storage classes. So there are this classification on under S3 for different use cases. There are different storage classes. There are 3 highly durable storage classes, including Amazon S3 Standard for general purpose storage of frequently accessed data, Amazon S3 Standard infrequently accessed for long lived but less frequently accessed data, and finally Amazon Glacier for long term archival. So these are the 3 standard storage class offering from S3. And reduced redundancy storage, RRS, that's the final one, is an Amazon S3 storage option that enables customers to reduce their cost by storing non-critical reproducible data at lower levels of redundancy than Amazon S3's standard storage. So these are the classes. You have got S3 standard, then S3 standard infrequent access, and then finally RRS, reduced redundancy storage. So understand the difference between these three. And finally we have another offering, Amazon Glacier. It's for file archival. If I want to if you want to reiterate it, yeah, I can do it. So for a general purpose file storage, you guys can stick with Amazon S3 standard. And for S3 standard infrequent access, only files with what do you call less frequently accessed data, it can be stored in this particular infrequently accessed storage class. And reduced redundancy storage, put the data which you can easily reproduce, because they don't guarantee what you call 100% retrieval or availability and durability. We'll come to that in the next slide. So here is the sample S3 bucket URL. It will start with HTTPS, then colon // S3, then the region name. In my case, it's going to be AP South 1, then Amazon AWS.com, then the bucket name. So that's the URL, typical S3 URL will look like. Keep this in mind, it might come in the exam. Since S3 is a universal namespace, your bucket name should be unique as well. So that's something you need to bear in your mind. And as I told you, buckets are placed under different regions. So make sure that under that particular region, your bucket name is what you call unique. And if you upload the files into S3 bucket, and it returns this HTTP code, it's HTTP 200. Remember that as well for the exam perspective. Data consistency, we are going to talk about that in a detailed manner. So Amazon provides read after write for puts of new objects. What they mean by that, you upload any new file to what you call Amazon S3, your bucket, it will be available right after you upload it. There are no delays. So, and then eventual consistency for overwrites of puts and deletes. If you are trying to overwrite an existing data with a newer version of the same file, there will be a delay if to what do you call make the newer version available to the public. And same is the case for delete. If you want to delete a certain file which is lying on your what do you call bucket or Amazon S3 bucket, there might be a delay. The moment you delete it, it's not going to propagate to all the facilities and what do you call multiple devices. You should understand that. So that's what I'm talking about, data consistency here. So read after write for puts of new objects, there are there is nothing like delay. The moment you upload it, it's going to be available in at least one facility, one device. And then in the backend, Amazon is going to replicate it to what do you call multiple devices and multiple facilities, just to be just to make it fail proof. So that's what the first line says. And the second one, eventual consistency for overwrites of puts and delete. So as I said, if you are trying to upload a new version of the existing file, that update operation, as soon as the upload is finished, you might not be able to see the latest version. Reason is simple, guys. As I told you, the file, the moment you upload it into what do you call S3 bucket, it should be what do you call propagated to multiple devices and multiple facilities. There might be possible delay, right? It's completely understandable. That's why the overrides of existing objects, it might not be available right away after the upload. And same is the case for delete. The moment you delete from any data or any file from S3 bucket, it will be still available. It will be still available for a certain time. Might not be that quick. So but eventually it's gonna happen. So that's what I'm trying to say here. So here is the next slide. Benefits of S3. Amazon does offer 99.99% availability for all the files that are uploaded to S3 bucket. And then there is this durability promise from AWS folks. It's 99.99999999 It's also known as 11 nines durability. I'll correct it probably. So here is the next slide, and we'll see the benefits of S3. Amazon does guarantee 99.99 availability for all the files that you've uploaded to S3 bucket. And then there is this promise of 99.99999999 durability from AWS folks. They are guaranteeing that the files that you upload to S3 bucket, it will be durable for this many percentage. It's also known as 11 nines durability, so bear that in mind. And the tiered storage for different use cases, we have already seen that, but we are going to see that in a bit detail in the next slide. And then there is this lifecycle management offering for all the files that you placed in your S3 bucket. So lifecycle management to handle data and objects, it's possible. This lifecycle management and bucket policies, it will help you to transition if your S3 bucket and files that are stored in your buckets, transition from one tier to another tier. You can even expire them. You can set certain rules. That's what it is capable of. And then they do support a versioning, and versioning, it's a very good option when it comes to backup. If you want to retrieve the old version of the same file, yeah, if the versioning is available and if it is enabled, you can easily get it. And then there is this cross region replication. What I mean by that is this: you place you upload a certain file to your S3 bucket, and it might be in Mumbai region, and if you are enabling cross region replication, you can replicate the same file or same data in a different region. And again, it's for better backup and fail proof storage solution. And one important thing I want to tell you about versioning is this: consider the space. Once you enable versioning, it's gonna eat your S3 storage like anything, because each and every copy or each and every version of a same file, it's gonna take huge amount, right? So consider that fact. And data transfer acceleration, it enables quick, simple and secure file transfer over long distances between end user and an S3 bucket by leveraging CloudFront. So CloudFront, we have already seen the introduction on that. So it's the content delivery CDN network, which will help you to cache the data if you belong to any different geographical region. So using CloudFront, you can upload your huge files into S3 directly without expecting a huge network delay. And then secure data using ACL and bucket policies, even to granular or object level. So you have this facility access control list, that's also known as ACL. You can set the permissions even to the object level. So if you want to restrict certain people, you can do it. If you want to block regions, yeah, you can do it. And then there is something called as bucket policies. You can set lifecycle rules and bucket policies to have better control over your uploaded data, which is lying inside S3. And storage tiers of S3, we have seen this already. We have got S3 standard, we have got S3 standard infrequently accessed. That's what I've written it as a standard IA. Then we have Amazon Glacier for archival. We have got RRS, reduced redundancy storage as well. So let's see the key differences between these three different tiers. So let's start with S3 standard. It has got 99.99% availability, and then durability is 11 nines durability. If you want to what do you call I mean the file you upload to S3 standard, it will be stored redundantly across multiple devices in multiple facilities, and it can sustain losses of two facilities concurrently. That's how they maintain this 11 nines durability and 99.99% availability. That's what I've written here. And talking about standard IA, S3 standard IA or infrequently accessed data, it has got same durability, 11 nines durability, and availability might be reduced. It's just 99.9%. That's the guarantee from Amazon. The best use case to use when to use S3 IA is this. um, if you need, what do you call, you don't frequently use the data, but when you need access to the data, it should be rapid. It should be available rapidly without any delay. So in that case, people can go with a standard IA. The main difference between standard and IA, you will be paying very less compared to standard for IA. So this is very cheap. And then Amazon Glacier, as I said, this is for your data archival requirements. This is very cheap, but remember this: if you want to retrieve the data, whatever you have uploaded to Amazon Glacier, it takes minimum 3 to 4 or even 4 to 6 hours time just to restore it from Amazon Glacier. And finally, we'll be talking about reduced redundancy storage. So if you remember, this will be used when the data that you put or that you upload into RRS is reproducible. I mean, use it whenever you don't what do you call need this data. I mean, for non-critical data, things like keeping the thumbnails and things like that. And the reason why I say this is this: it will only sustain a concurrent facility loss of one facility. So the tolerance is less, and Amazon says it upfront. I mean, there might be a possibility that data will be inconsistent, or you might even lose the data. So that's why people will not put critical data into RRS. So remember that this is only for reproducible or regeneratable data. And talking about S3 security, we have got bucket policies, and we have ACL. So bucket policies can be set up per your buckets, S3 buckets, and it'll allow you to have better control. We are going to have this covered in our next video, the lab session. And ACL, as I said, ACL stands for access control list. If you are using ACL, you can even drill down to object level access, and you can set the permissions. And then talking about S3 encryption, we have got these things. While the data is being uploaded to your S3 bucket, it's protected by SSL and TLS, secure socket layer, and transport layer security. You have those options while your data is being uploaded, and while your data is being downloaded from S3 buckets. And then once your data is within S3, these are the encryption options. You have got SSE S3, you have got SSE KMS, you have SSE C, and then if you want to protect it from client side encryption techniques, yeah, you can even do it. So SSE, it stands for server side encryption, and in SSE S3, it will be using AES 256, the advanced encryption method. And then SSE KMS, it stands for server side encryption key management service, wherein you can use software and hardware encryption techniques. And SSE C is the client side encryption, wherein you will be using client provided security methods, security encryption keys. And so bear this in mind, S3 encryption is possible, and these are the different types to achieve it. And then finally, S3 pricing model. You will be charged on these parameters. Based on these parameters, you will be charged for storage you use, number of requests you make, storage management, data transfer pricing, and then transfer acceleration. If you are using these, you will have to bear additional charges. I mean, you'll have to pay extra bucks. And then this is what I strongly recommend. I want you to cover the FAQ sections for S3, and it's available on Amazon site. I'm gonna drop these things in my description below, so do check that out. And that's all I've got for now, guys. I'll see you in the next video, and the next video will be a lab session for S3.